Welcome to another boring video from Mr. E. This is the week in review.
What is democracy?
I'm going to tell you what happened this week.
Government by the people.
Well, at least the past 3 or 4 days.
Okay? The biggest
and it's true, I am letting the stubble come in. This is the beard.
They have to hold
why? Well, this is why. I don't have time to shave anymore.
On every single topic, because
it is 9/11. That's September 11th to those of you who forget.
And that's where you need media, because you know what? Somebody has to be out there connecting the dots.
I connect the dots.
And we don't have
5 years ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots ago, we experienced a tragedy. It was an event. Now, I want to get serious here, because people may be watching who were affected directly by this tragedy.
The reporting now, there is always use of caution in how we...
No death is in vain.
For those tuning to the internet,
God, and there is a God, whether it's an alien God, or an unseen creator, or a vengeful deity, or a higher power, whatever phrase you want to use, whatever book you take it from. Conversations with God, the Quran, the Holy Bible, the Talmud, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Mayan calendar. Wherever you get that from, that God in your life, even atheism has a God. And that God is the no God. Whatever the case may be, no death is in vain. Death is a symbol. Those people were individuals and they had a life like you do, like I do. Not that I have a life, I have YouTube. But those lives were snuffed out unexpectedly, as most accidents do come accidentally.
Including during prime time at the Republican.
It is not in vain, because we will all gain.
Certainly not a disingenuous filmmaker.
The point is that
why had it been left in McCain's
there's
filmmaker to
two sides
to the American public?
Perspective of two sides, anyhow.
ABC News.
One side wants the war. One side doesn't want the war.
At BBC Television.
Then there are people who jump back and forth. They don't know what side they're on. Let me explain to you. One side says we don't want the war. They'd rather not be bothered. They'd rather not deal with the mess. They'd rather not face a problem.
In the newsroom, trying to get
they want to be nice.
But we could do a story, and it might not
be friendly people.
You have
because war is wrong. It's wrong to take other people's lives away.
These are not journalists.
They don't want to be involved in that kind of violent action.
On the rise in America after 9/11. The tough questions
it doesn't matter whatever the reasons are. They don't think that they are valid reasons. There is no valid reason to kill, to go out and be making war. Make love, not war. Then you have the other side, which is the side that wants war. Well, that's because they are dealing with a situation. They are violent processes. These people are warmongers. They want to solve the problem with force, with might, with definitive action. Take a stance and move ahead with it. And kill everyone who doesn't agree with you. You know, that's one way of winning at the competition. You know, if you're competing against the other side, for example, in the Olympics, and you want to win the race, just make sure you hide a butcher knife in your jockstrap. Because then as you're running, and then the guy comes up alongside you, you say, well, I want to win this little race here. You just chop his head off, and then you keep running, and then, you know, you're going to win the race. So war is a strategy. It's a very logical strategy, and that's the way you win at any competition. You kill your opponents. So there are these two sides, and people that jump back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that God does not disallow anything. God is aware, and God has meant for us to go through this situation as a learning process. And ultimately, you cannot go against anyone in the absolute. You can think you disagree with them, but they have their experience, they have their karma that must be acted out, as I have mine. And mine is to explain to you
Maybe we should
what
have
is going
questioned
on
whether
this
or
week.
not President Nixon had any involvement in
Now,
Watergate.
people
Maybe we should have
ask,
accepted that story.
you know,
Maybe we should have accepted the story that
is
President
YouTube
Clinton had no
useful?
involvement, had never
Or
had
is
sex
YouTube
with that
a
woman,
distraction
Ms. Lewinsky.
to these more serious
So
issues
just because it's the
of the
official
war,
story of records does not mean that we should not
of
delve
life,
further and see if really that is the actual story.
Yes, they
Truth.
lie. They all lie. Whether consciously or unconsciously, it happens.
Excuse me.
Now we need to look into
You see, when someone
why they
sneezes, you
lie
know that they're lying.
and what
And when someone's blinking their eyes too many times, that is also a dead giveaway that they are lying. And that's why
we have to know. We have to.
now you know. Now you know the secret of mystery.
9/11 was the biggest don't ask, don't tell. And if it wasn't for the families, we wouldn't have anything. And that's very frightening.
we had to take this
Fear
tragedy
is the only thing that we have to
do
fear.
the best we could
Fear
with our
itself.
lives. And with our
Fear is like,
try and make
you know, it is incestuous. It mates with itself.
people that
You know, I don't want to be flagged. I don't want to be
what I
removed
really
from this,
want
but
to
you know, fear is
I put it there.
a vicious cycle. You
I wanted the
see,
truth.
you see the reasons for going out into the world and this, that, to other people, and not, you know, just dehumanizing them, is because of fear. And because of fear, then you are serving fear, the purpose of fear. But yet if you have no fear, you live much better. What is there to fear? What is there to fear?
Let me just say something real quick.
I don't care. Because everything is all good.
Well, the wall is through.
Everything's all good. Especially when you're learning knowledge.
Keep
And you're watching YouTube. And you're finding out about Lonely Girl 15. You're finding out about Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook pukes up his, you know, when he gets flagged. And you're learning about Renetto. And you're learning about MacGyver GG and Black X, White X, and how he doesn't like, they don't like Little Loca. And Little Loca is actually Stevie Ryan. And Stevie Ryan somehow connected to that other guy, the one who's accused of being a sex offender. And, you know, he's got this, the Jew thing, the Big Jew or the Fag Jew or some other handle that they're using. Just churning, you know, and Katie's opinion talking about penises and things. And that's, you know, that's a metaphor, that's a symbol for, you know, something. And you got Lorena Bobbitt, and, you know, this, well, she's not a channel on here yet, but I have a personal, you know, connection with that actually. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm not actually in Virginia. I'm here. I'm right here in YouTube. And I'm going to leave you with this thought. Since if you've already watched the whole boring video up to this point, at least you're going to have this little gem. Holographic universe, okay? Alternative realities, computer technology, AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, now I'm a big proponent, I'm a big developer I'm a producer into virtual reality, VR. Now, my point being that I may not be the real mystery. Did you know that they have facilities? They have already done this, and of course, comes from many of the quasi-government or military-industrial complex, projects, such as the Manhattan Project. But they have invented, they have designed, and have fully functional simulations of real people. Their voices, their visuals, like you could look at it. You could watch these digitized, artificial, fake, images, and you would literally believe that that is the person, that is them speaking, that it is the real deal. Okay, now this is the report of the week. This is the issue here on YouTube. This is the issue. This is takes the cake. It takes the cake this week. It takes the cake. Takes the fucking cake. We want to know what's real, but you know what? By watching YouTube, ultimately, you're not going to know what's real. That's the whole thing. Okay. I'm not berating you. I'm not chiding you or chastising you or scrutinizing you. The point is, if you want what's real, you need to go out and find it face to face, direct contact, the actual experience of humanity. YouTube is just a reflection of that. And you will never know if this is the real mystery. It looks like it. Kind of something a little bit like mystery, but you'll never know for sure. You will never know for sure unless you ask me, unless you write to me and you get a response from me and we continue a dialogue to where you have enough information and you can figure out if I am the real mystery, if that was the real Mr. E. Did you do that vlog on September 11th? Was that you? And I can say, well, I did something. I could
take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulders. In my life proud and heartache shine. I don't hold my life faces again.
I'm going to take a little time
I've traveled so
to
far
look around
to change this lonely life. I'm gonna take a little time to look around me. I've got nowhere left to hide. It looks like love has finally found me. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. I know you can show me.